Together. This verse teaches us about God's grace.
So let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive His mercy, and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. Hebrews 4:16.
Hey, great job! Let's do it again.
So let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive His mercy, and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. Hebrews 4:16.
Ooh, nice work, everybody.
Hey, boys and girls. Hope you had a great week. Weather's changing, so we have to put on our little jackets here, but that's okay. We can do this. All right, let's get in with our story. We're starting Moses this week, and some of you that are doing quizzing are going to have Moses really good in your brains. So keep listening, and you'll know some answers for maybe for your quizzing too if you're doing quizzing. All right, your picture today is Moses. We're going to be doing the burning bush. I don't know if you're up to that yet, but good story. And the word we're looking for is pretty much right out there. You can see it. It is the Israelites. And we know who the Israelites are. Remember, we've talked about them. They're God's chosen people. And they were having a little bit of trouble, but God's going to come in here and help the Israelites out and help Moses help them. So keep listening, okay? All right, color too. Don't forget to color your back and make it pretty. I think you have these during church, so you can do that. I hope that's how it's set up, that you can color those. All right. Okay, let's get to our story. Let me get my cards so I can do this right. Moses, I kind of forgot Moses was a shepherd. I've heard so many stories and read so many things, but somewhere along the line, Mrs. Ann didn't get the shepherd part, but he was a shepherd and out taking care of his flock and leading the flock each day. So here's a picture of Moses and his flock. One little sheep, but he was doing his job, and he came upon, and I'm going to try this. Horeb is the mountain of God. It's called the mountain of God, and he came upon that and do a great job with the mountain here, but it's a mountain that he came upon, and Moses, he had to climb up to it, and he wanted to explore this. So he climbed the mountain and to see what he could see. And when he got to the top of the mountain, or along the way to the top, he saw something very, very strange. And in the distance, not too far from him, but far enough, he saw a distance of a bush on fire. Now, I don't know, have you ever seen a bush on fire? Maybe people burning stuff in their yard and that, but not the whole bush. But you look at it closely, the branches in that aren't being burnt. It's just the bush. Just the fire around that bush. Okay, so let's put that over here. Moses wasn't afraid, but he was kind of interested. So he stepped closer and closer, and when he could discover that the bush was not burning, he couldn't believe it. He stepped closer to the burning bush because he really wanted to see what was happening. He's never seen anything like this. And all of a sudden, he heard his name, Moses. And he looked all around. He couldn't see anyone standing near on the mountain. He was all alone. So, who's speaking to me? Who is this? Well, guess who it was? Who do you think? Yeah, it was God. And that's G-O-D, for those of you that can't read. It's God. That's who was speaking to him. Well, God told Moses not to come any closer. Now, Moses, I'm going to switch him out, and we're going to put him without the sheep. Moses really wanted to get very close to what that was, but God told him not to, so he stayed away, and he listened. And Moses was told to take off his sandals. I wonder why he was to take off his sandals. Do you know why? God said this was holy ground. So he was going to be standing on holy ground, and he should take off in reverence to take off his shoes. The Spirit of God was shining. You can see all the lines around God here. The Spirit of God was shining. It was big up there, and he knew that God was there. Moses wasn't sure what to do, but he covered his face. He just couldn't look at the bright lights and that were there. And he was afraid to look at God. God told Moses, of course, not to be afraid. That this made Moses feel a little better, but he still wasn't sure. God shared with Moses that he had seen how the Israelites were being treated in Egypt and how they were not being taken care of, how they were being treated as slaves and being told to do everything, and somebody was always standing above them, yelling at them and probably whipping them and telling them to do stuff, and it was not good. And God told him all about this. Of course, he knew a little bit about what was going on. The Egyptians had made them slaves. They were being hurt, and they were being forced to work hard and long, long hours. And they were suffering. God wanted to help his people. And so he wanted Moses to do a job for him. And he told Moses to be the Israelite leader. Well, Moses thought, I don't know, God. But God told him to go in front of Pharaoh and to convince him to let the Israelites go. Well, this made him really nervous. And so, what do you think he did? He wasn't really up to that. So he shook his head no. He said, no, I can't do that. This is not my kind of work. I don't do that. And he thought God had made a mistake. Surely God's not meaning me. I can't do those things. But God didn't make a mistake, because we know God doesn't make mistakes, right? And God reminded Moses that he had chosen him and that he would be with him. Well, God promised Moses that after he had led the Israelites, after he'd done what God wanted him to do, Moses would return to the mountain to worship him. And God promised Moses that he would take care of him and protect him and to never give up and to do this important job. Moses, he was still worried. This just wasn't going to work. He worried that the Israelites would believe he was not the right leader. And he worried because he didn't even know God's name. He just worried. What was God's name? Do you know names of God other than God? There are a lot. And if you maybe ask your parents, they can help you find them in the Bible and show you all the names of that they call God. But there was a name that was God. God was patient with Moses, and he loved Moses, and he said to him, my name is I am. Well, I am? That sounds strange. God said, I am everything. I am everywhere. I am with you when things are happy and good. I am with you when things are hard and bad. We kind of know that, don't we? My name is I am. I wonder, is that a good name for God? I was thinking, I know the names of God, but I was thinking, well, and they're not going to come to me right now. My mind is totally blank. But there are better names than I am, I thought. Prettier names than I am. But this says a whole lot. Because when he says, I am with you, I am everywhere, I am everything, I am with you in sad and happy, I am. God is there for us. Well, these words Moses heard, he finally accepted the call. And he said, okay, Lord, I will go. And his call to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And we're going to hear that as we go on. As he walked down the mountain, he knew without a doubt that God was going to be with him. And he would not fail because God was helping him. And we know that. We can do anything with God's help, can't we? All we have to do is pray and ask him for his help. And he will always be there. Sometimes the answer is not going to be always what we want it. And sometimes we have to wait. But God will never, ever leave us alone. Wrong card. He will always be with us. Okay? Because he is, I am. Okay? Cool story? Yeah. Remember these things, because next week we're going to do the second part of this, and there'll be some things to do. Hopefully you're doing those. I envision you doing them. I know in my class you'd be doing them and getting all excited to do them. It's hard sometimes when you're all by yourself, but just try to listen to the stories, remember what they are, and hopefully this will help you in quizzing and as you learn all about Moses a different way. All right. We love you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.